Hi, we are live. We are live on YouTube as well as Facebook
Oh,
on my brand, Narcissistic Apparel, as well as my personal page, Chanel Rain, and YouTube, Narcissistic TV. As you guys come on, like, share. We got Justin Phillips on. He's gonna drop some major nuggets, y'all. If I was y'all, I would definitely not want to miss this. So tag your homegirls, tag your homeboys. Say, hey, I need y'all to get on. It is the CEO of one of the CEOs of Support Black Colleges on. So definitely, guys, he's going to be dropping some his story, kind of business tips, and just great things that he's doing right now, even his brand. So definitely tune in. And like I said, we might not see you guys come on, but we would definitely see you guys comments. So as you guys comment, we will definitely be putting up on the screen. Oh, I made a lost them. Yeah, I'm sorry.
That was my bad. I lost you, but are we good now?
Okay. Yeah, you good. You good.
Okay,
Okay, cool.
my bad.
So no, you good. You good. Yeah. So guys, as you guys come on, say hey, say what's up, say where you coming from. Like I said, we were live on Facebook as well as YouTube.
Yeah, I was gonna say you everywhere. Your page, Facebook, YouTube, everywhere.
Yeah, I gotta get it everywhere you can.
Right.
You gotta get everywhere you can. So I'm trying to get live on my page. I'm having the technical difficulties, but it's okay. So if you guys are on the business page, just say what's up, and we'll definitely see it.
There you go. All right, that's straight now.
Okay, guys. Okay, guys. So we have the wonderful um, Justin Phillips from Support Black Colleges Apparel. So I'm gonna tell you guys how I know him because some people have asked like, how you know him? Like, you see his brand and Corey's brand everywhere. Like, how you know about him? So I personally did not know him until now, but I will say that I was introduced to his brand before I was introduced to him. And I would see him on different, people's podcasts and interviews. I'd be like, they doing, how you see the big brands, but you don't never really see, the CEOs
Mm.
of the, face of the brand. So I just kind of like studied their story and I was like, wow, they doing some big things. And obviously, I knew it was black owned because support black colleges
Right.
typically is black owned. So I kind of like dig deep into their story, and I was like, I would love to have them or one of them on, to represent the brand and just tell us their story because they have an impactful, especially Justin has an impactful story that I want, more of the world and my platform to hear about. So definitely, Justin, tell us more about yourself. Where you from, and yeah.
Yeah, so I'm from Houston, Texas originally. I just moved out to Atlanta about 2 years ago. Went to Howard University, graduated in 2016. I was supposed to graduate in 2015, but you know how I get down sometimes.
Yeah, yeah.
So, um, yeah, that's me though. Houston, Texas, Howard University, living in Atlanta from Texas. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, okay. HU.
You know.
Right, right, right. I see the people. I never went to HBCU. Like I went on like the tour when we was in high school. I went on
Right.
that big high HBCU tour. So I was fascinated with going to HBCU. Then I had a medical, family issue, so I couldn't like go away because I'm in Chicago.
Right.
So I was like, okay, I still want to go, but my friends went to Philander Smith and all them other HBCUs. Oh, I know the one who went to Howard, but I will always look at, especially homecomings. I'm like, it used to be lit
Oh,
because it was the homecomings for me. I ain't gonna lie to you. It was the homecomings that was lit. I would be like, man, I need to get down to HBCU. So I went to a couple of them, but it was like bananas. Like I'm like, they go crazy. Like it's like the whole month.
oh yeah, it's serious. There's nothing more serious than the HBCU homecoming, especially Howard. They get down real
Yeah,
crazy.
they definitely get down. So like what was the passion behind it? Because people know like as an entrepreneur, like you have to solve a problem, obviously,
Right.
be a solution to a problem. So like what was what's kind of the background of Support Black Colleges and the clothing brand?
Yeah, I mean, it actually started because I was on the e-board for Texas Club and at Howard
Okay.
University, and I was doing promotion, so all of the parties, all the stuff like that for the e-board of Texas Club. And then Corey was on the e-board for North Carolina Club, and one of our
Mhm.
close friends is on the e-board for the DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia Club. So the DMV Club was like, "Yo, we want some shirts. Like, who do you know that can design?" And Corey's cousin is a super good designer, and he was like,
Mm,
"Yo, my cousin can do it. Let's do it. Lock it in." So the DMV club got something, North Carolina club got something, and then we got the Texas club to want to get some stuff too. But when everybody got their gear, everybody,
mhm.
all the other clubs was like, "Yo, that's fire. I don't care if it's from Texas or Houston. I mean, North Carolina, wherever. I want it." And we was just like, "Yo,
Right.
if folks is down to wear stuff from like different states and stuff, I'm sure that people from different HBCUs will want stuff for their own HBCU or for Howard in general and stuff like that."
Yeah.
So then we started making gear for all the big HBCUs at first, like Howard, North Carolina A&T, FAMU, all of that, and then people started taking a liking to it, and it just kind of went from there.
Wow. So it started small, right? And then it
Yeah,
just kind of like expanded. And you said something like, right, so you guys have started putting different names on the back of
right,
the apparel, right?
right.
And then it is kind of like got exposure from there. So you guys, it wasn't just like y'all just was new to the campuses. Like people had known y'all, right? So like that was a little leverage for you guys because they had already knew who you guys were.
I
Is that
think a
true?
little bit. I think a little bit. I mean, me and Corey were probably like some of the more popular guys on campus. We threw parties
Okay.
and stuff like that, but um, I don't know if it necessarily helped. I guess it didn't hurt, because we were ever able to like leverage our relationships to get people to do photo shoots and like different stuff like that. So that helped out. But yeah, I mean, putting all the names on the back of the shirts and things like that just kind of amplified it. But
Wow.
yeah, I don't know. It helped probably just being
Yeah.
being out there and
Growing.
networking and throwing parties and different stuff like that for sure.
Yeah. So kind of back because like I know you guys story, but specifically some people who may watch this or something like that may not know like, okay, who is Corey, right? So, you're not just the CEO, you are a partner.
Right.
So talk about that, like, who is Corey and stuff like that, and how you guys had met and
Yeah. So we just call each other like either co-CEO, co-founder, whatever.
right.
We don't really
Mhm.
just trip on the titles too much.
Yeah.
But we met because he was a year ahead of me in college. So when I came in as a freshman, he was a sophomore. And I had like, I mean, you can see I have like super long hair. So back in the day, I had like a huge fro. So, but I used
Wow.
to out like actual fro. So people knew, back then you like in group meets with people that's going to Howard or like, just different chats and stuff, people trying to get to know each other before they get on campus. So
Hmm.
people knew me as like, okay, this is the guy that's light skinned, green eyes, big hair,
Hmm.
coming to Howard, like whatever. So I came down and I went to a party freshman week, and Corey and the group of people that he threw parties with at the time
Hmm.
were throwing it. And I sat outside of the party and just kind of sat there because I threw parties back home, and I was like,
Right.
let me see what's going on. Who's handling the money? Who's doing the real parties? Is it popular?
Wow.
I just wanted to understand because I had been in my mom worked in bottle service since she was like 21. So I've
Wow.
been in the 21 and up club since I was like 14, 15. Like just,
Wow.
you
So
know,
you've been hooked to all of that. You already was
I already
hooked
knew like I wasn't going into college thinking like let's party and have fun. Like I
mm,
wanted to obviously, but it was more so like I was making thousands of dollars back home as a 16, 17-year-old throwing parties. So let me try to do the same thing when I come here and see who's doing it, who I need to network with. So instead of partying freshman week, I was sitting outside of the parties or some of them, and I was having my fun too,
mhm.
sitting outside of them trying to see what's really going on, who getting money and where do I fit myself in basically. So
Wow.
Corey saw me sitting outside of a party, walked out, said, "Yo, bro, like, why are you acting weird? Like, just sitting on the curb watching what's going on." And I was like, "I'm trying to understand how the money is flowing in DC, like this and that, just type of thing." And he was like, "That's what's up, bro. Like, let's link up, blah blah blah." And then he invited me in the party for free, so I went in the party, enjoyed myself, and then after that, that's kind of how we connected as friends. And he was like, "Yo." Whenever their promotional group was trying to get more people to come in, they were like, "Yo," he was like, "Yo, we need this guy. Like, he's serious about his business and he's a popular guy. Like, let's do it." And then that's kind of how we became friends from there.
Wow. That is amazing. So like you was just like kind of like peeping the scenery, like, okay, let me see what that's about. Because you, like you said, your mom was, bottle service, so she was in the
Right.
club life, so you was introduced to like
Right.
money and the club scenes and stuff
Yeah.
like that and how to really make some money. But like you said, like you've been in club scenes since like technically 14, 15.
Right.
So then when you went to HU, you was like, okay, I'm really trying to see how
Right.
this money flowing, like who the money man, like,
Right.
okay, y'all turned up, but like who really making the money? So
Right.
that's dope. Like, and for him to even step out to introduce himself, like, man, what's up? Like anybody else have been like, hey, watch that dude. Like, what he
Right.
on? Like on some other stuff. For him to be kind of like the person who hosting the, which he was
Yeah.
hosting a party, for him to be like, let me, what's up with you? Like, I'm gonna be
Right.
real with you. Like, what's up? And like you said, if he would never had like reached out to you on some what's up,
Who
you
would
would
have
never
known?
had, you would never know, right?
Never
So
know.
you guys had just kind of linked up. So he was already hosting parties. He was already about that. And like you said, you had just came because you're a freshman and you
Right.
like, okay, I want to get this money flowing because I was already making money at the
Exactly.
crib. So like who making this money? So he kind of put you on with his team
Right.
and it just went from there. So then it's like when y'all was in college, did y'all have support black colleges or y'all did other things like continue with the partying?
Yeah, so we really did other things at first, honestly, because when I came into Howard, I wanted to be my own person, but be able to network
Mm,
with others as well. So when they invited me to be in the team, I was cool like with everybody that was in the organization, but I wanted to have my own personal brand and be my own person and to be able to collaborate with anybody I wanted to and not just have to be on one team and I can
mm,
only do stuff with these people. I wanted to be cool with everybody because that's just like the
mm,
nature of type of person I am.
yeah.
So we they ended up trying to get get people on the team or whatever, and some people wanted these people, some people wanted those people, and it just kind
Mm,
of didn't mesh and it didn't get along. So they kind of ended up dissolving that organization, and then me and Corey was like, yo, we popular, we cool, like let's do it
yeah.
ourselves. And then instead of having to split money up with 5, 10, 15 people, we started doing stuff with me, my close friend, and Corey, and we was splitting up that 20, $30,000 between three people rather than between a whole bunch of people. So it ended up working out for itself. But we didn't really lock into support black colleges until later after we was making money with the parties and stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So y'all, like I said, y'all was just doing the parties and then just kind of like later on just kind of like linked up to something phenomenal. Okay, so where did the name come from? What did the initial name support black colleges like
I think
the
it
initial
comes from just like old school, like inspiration, like the African American College Association or Collegiate Association, Spike Lee stuff that they did back in the day. I seen a couple shirts
right.
where Spike Lee actually had some stuff that said support black colleges. So like just randomly, like
Wow.
I think that's where it comes from, just '90s inspired, but HBCU center type of thing.
Wow. Right. Because I would say you guys have the trademarks and the patents and all that with the whole name now.
Hmm.
Right. So
Hmm.
you guys, that's this, you guys, brand, trademark.
Right.
So can you talk more deep about your story? Right. So like, you said your mom was up in bottle service, right?
Right.
So what was your initial goal into going into college, right? What was your major and what was that passion? Where did that passion come from?
Um, my major was audio production and my minor was graphic design. That passion came from my mom was doing bottle service, but she also was a real estate agent on the side.
Mm,
So it turned into she got fired from one of her jobs because she was doing real estate on the work computers and they fired her.
wow.
After that, she never went back to a regular job or anything. She just did full-time real estate
Mm,
and then also bottle service on the side, but she got worn out with bottle service, obviously being in the club so long, stuff like that, it gets tired.
yeah.
So then now she went from an agent to a broker. So seeing her doing all of that was very inspirational. But she doing deals in real estate, she met one of her clients that had a son that was actually being abused by the person that was her client. So
Wow.
she took the son in to become an older brother to me and literally lived with me like for years. And it was different because I was 13, 14, but brought
Right.
into the household that was 17, 18. So instead of having a younger brother, I adopted an older brother, and he was very into music. So
Mhm.
audio production, that type of thing. We got into that together, and I looked up to him because he was older than me. So that's where
Yeah.
passion came from. But going into college, I didn't know like what was going on. I didn't know what a HBCU was. I didn't know what Howard University was. I didn't know any of that. I'm the first person in my family to go to college at all in general. So
Wow.
the only reason I ended up going to Howard was because I got accepted to Baylor, University of North Texas, and Howard. Those are the only three schools I applied to. I was getting my hair cut back when I used to have short hair, and my
Mhm.
barber was like, "Yo, what schools did you get into? I know you're a senior." I told him the three. He was like, "Yo, go out of state, bro. Get out of Texas, man. Go get that experience outside." And I was like, "Cool."
Wow.
So, and it wasn't even my actual barber. My barber was like busy, so I had to go like 2 states away. It was
Wow.
like that person that told me to go do that, and I just something in my head was like, I ain't bet, and that's how I ended up going to Howard. So I had no real goal. Like I didn't know what college was. No fraternity, sorority, none of that. Like no clue. Like I just wasn't experiencing it at all.
Wow. And if it wasn't for that temporary barber,
Right.
your life went like your life literally changed because you went to a HBCU.
Yeah, for sure,
Literally.
for sure.
I mean, seriously, it's not even just about the business, but the connections that you made, the
Exactly.
friends that you got now, like the circle that you got. I'm sure you some you still rocking with other
Right.
than
Right.
Corey. That I mean was life changing.
Yeah.
Okay, so when did support Black colleges come about? When did it? What year did it come about?
That was around 2012. Like I said, I was someone that came on a little bit later, but in the
Mm,
beginning, I was just doing my digital marketing thing. I was like, I had 100,000 something followers on Twitter, like back in the day when Twitter was like,
wow,
like
crazy.
I've been doing digital marketing stuff, but so they started it, Corey and his cousin, around 2012, and then I made their first Twitter for them, and I'd like started growing it for them, and I was like, "Yo, Corey's my friend. Yo, here's a Twitter. I got y'all first couple hundred followers. Take it. Have fun with it.
Mm,
Like, man, do y'all thing. I'm hoping y'all do great. You know what I'm saying? That's what it really."
right.
And then it actually started to be taken serious because in Houston, well, I Corey didn't finish school, so he went back home, and then I
Okay.
Houston after I graduated, and he just called me one day and was like, "Yo, bro, like it's not working out with me and my cousin. I want to take this seriously, man, and I think that you can provide a skill set that'll help us out." And I had tried a bunch of stuff when I was in Houston, like man, so much stuff like. Um,
Mm,
Drop shipping, any internet business. I got into a bunch of illegal, dumb stuff, like just,
right. Wow.
and then, but I knew from the failures from drop shipping and trying all these internet businesses that I had the skill set to do it, but I didn't have the product that I knew I could stand behind. So,
Mm,
come do this with me. And I was like, bro, there's no way that this business can't do $100,000 a month. Like I can see it clearly. And he was like, help me do it. And then that's when I moved to Atlanta, and then we started taking it seriously 2 years ago.
wow. So you had already had seen it. Like you it's no way. And I mean, if I was just to see the like before it even came to what it is now, I would have looked at it too, like it's gonna blow up. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like I'm very confident in my brand. Like, yeah, we not up there with support Black colleges, but baby, I already see what's going.
Right,
You
right.
gotta see it before
Yeah,
you get it. Cause if you don't, you will never get there. Like people don't understand how important that is. Like you said, this like you knew you had the talent, you knew you just had to needed to stand behind a product that you knew was gonna work. But you already had the work ethic, you already had the drive. It was already passed down. Your mother was a hustler.
right.
Like I mean, your mom was a hustler. Like you can't tell me like you not a hustler. Then Corey had already been before he even met you. He was already doing hosting parties. Y'all just connected. Like let's talk about circle, how it's so important when it comes to success and elevation, right?
Yeah,
How it's so important, not just about partnership, but your circle, how important it is for your circle
it's so
play a big part.
so important, and it's one of the things that really changed my life. And I say that because when I was in Houston, when Corey called me, I was living in a one-bedroom apartment with five people. So it wasn't because I didn't have the money. I had a job. I've only ever had two jobs in my life, and the second one that I had when I had this apartment, I had the apartment by myself, and my cousin called me. Was like, "Yo, we're real messed up right now, bro. We need somewhere to stay. Like, can you let us stay with you? We know you got your own place." hey, come on, like all of y'all. So two of them came, and then one more person ended up coming, and then I had other people in and out like whenever they needed to, just because that's my heart. So it was like five of us all in one spot, and I was noticing that I was the only like, some of them would like be here and there trying to get into it and like trying to do better for themselves and stuff like that. But I started to wake up and look around, and it's, man, I'm up at 5, 6 a.m. reading and going for a walk and listening to affirmations and things like that. Like
Right.
knowing that my current situation isn't who I really am, and I can get out of it with thought and putting my mind towards things. So, but when I looked around, I see people sleep till 1 p.m. People sleep till I'm coming home from work and the house is still dirty, but it's four people, five people in here. Like, what's going on? So,
Right.
I told them one day, I was like, yo, look, it's May 1st. Y'all got until June 1st to get y'all life squared away and figure something,
Yeah.
try to contribute to what I got going on, or I'm out of here. And like, that's just, and then it's funny because, you know, initially you might think that people would get defensive or get upset, but they met me with respect and was like, yo, we noticed that we pulling you back. We noticed that we was holding you back, and
Ooh.
respect you for saying that you'll move around. And if we ain't getting it together, then we understand. So do what you got to do. And then I kind of took that like, cool, let me move around. And then that's when I moved out to the A. And it's
Wow.
back to circle because I had to. It's very difficult because when you have people that are around you, the only way that aren't doing as well as you want to, you have to either remove yourself and put yourself in a better situation, or be so strong minded that you can surround yourself with positivity, even though you're surrounded with nothing but negativity. Because anyone else might have just fell victim to what they were going on or what was going on. But I'm so grateful that I had the ability to read books and listen to affirmations and go for walks and all of that to surround myself with positivity that gave me the confidence to leave when I needed to, rather than just sitting around and being victim to it. And now I've been able to put myself in, better positions with better people. And I'm still even going from, and I was going from 0 to 1. Now it's time to go from 1 to 2. So now I'm surrounded by all these good people, but how can I get around the billionaires in e-commerce and, stuff like that, rather than just the people that are doing as well as me and stuff like that. So we're trying to go from 1 to 2, then 2 to 3 next. You know what I mean?
Wow, this dope. Guys, I know I'm not on my personal page, but if you guys are on here, if you like, share, comment, man, he is dropping good and it's only like 20 minutes in. Um for sure, like definitely get on, tag your homegirl, tag your homeboy, say, hey, get on G. Like he's speaking some good stuff for real. Like he's dropping jewels. So we want to get deeper because he talked about some good stuff. So he said that you went back home,
Yeah.
right? So you went back home and you was in this one bedroom apartment with 4 to 5 people,
Right.
and you was working, and people you was living with just laying around not doing nothing.
Right.
And these are your friends. These
Yeah.
people that you help get on their feet pretty much to
Yeah,
lay
these
their head.
these are like family. Like, when you know how black people got cousins. Like, these are my cousins. Like, I've known them since we were 5 years old, and that's friends that I've known for like 10, 15 years. Like those type of people.
Wow.
So
So you couldn't just like leave them out in the cold. You had to be like, come on, man, I got you.
yeah,
I got
that's just
because
how.
like you said, it's in your nature. You
Yeah.
can't just be like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
So you let them in and you knew you wanted better for yourself.
Right.
But like you said, if you so either too strong minded, and I don't really know nobody who can be around five broke negative people
Mhm.
and gonna be, I mean, the 6'1". I mean, you gotta show me somebody who can, because it's hard.
It is.
Like psychologically, it's really hard to be, because you get to consume of all that, negativity, and you start to like second guess your capabilities and
Oh
stuff
yeah.
like that. So you said, okay, I'm gonna just go to Atlanta and this, hey, so you said they, instead of them being offensive or stuff like that, they understood, they knew that they was kind of holding you back for what it is that you wanted to do in life.
Yeah.
So once that left, you guys, did y'all just kind of part ways, or just, you just stay in contact, or how was that, the mindset of, this is
Yeah,
okay,
I
I'm out.
mean, we stayed in contact because at the end of the day, these people are family no matter what. So for me, it was more so. don't judge, because you can't judge, man. Like, I can't judge people, because then I be judging myself, because I'm a person as well. So I can't judge what you got going on, because that's me, and it used to be me too. So look, I'm
Yeah.
moving forward. But yeah, I still talk to them,
Yeah.
not as often, but we stay in contact. And
Yeah.
whole thing was, let me move around and then try to bring them with me afterwards. Like, you got to secure your mask first before you help somebody else. So
Yes.
I did that, and then I've been able to hire some of my best friends from back home that moved down to Atlanta and come work with me now. So,
Wow.
that like were staying with me, but still people that were friends from back home. So yeah, but it ain't no bad blood with none of them. They're
Wow.
good. No matter what was going on, people, you got to meet them where they at. And I was at a
Let
different
me.
place than them, and they were at that place, but still great people, still amazing.
Yeah.
It just was what it was at that point.
Wow, that is amazing. And like you said, it's no bad blood, man. It's just I want, I'm going to another direction. But like you said, meet them where they at and no judge zone. But when I get on, I'm gonna put you on.
Right.
I'm gonna put you on. It's
Yep.
just that. But right now, when I'm trying to get on, I can't. We
You got
can't be. I gotta go up, and then we gonna go up together.
right.
Like that's just how I be. So that's really good. So you said you went to Atlanta and
Mhm.
kind of like. Now, what year was this when you went to Atlanta?
This was 2018.
So 2018,
Yeah.
and that's when the brand just kind of took off. It just
Yeah.
so did y'all rebrand yourself or how was that?
Nah, it was more so like, and then it's funny because I knew that it could be something big when I came down, but I didn't even get involved with it like when I first came down, because I came and I'm talking about literally had nothing. Like, I had some money stored up, like savings, but it was like invested in different things, like
Mm,
stuff that I believe in, like cryptocurrency and different stuff like that. I didn't want to pull that money out. So the money that I
mm,
had liquid available was nothing, like for real. So when I went down there, my first goal was, how can I go from $0 to making 4,000 a month, just to make 1,000 a month, because that's what I was making at my old job before I quit.
yeah,
And then I literally locked myself in my room 30 days, did not leave my room, and I just was doing like Instagram growth stuff, so DMing 10 to 15 people every single hour. Hey, I love your page. I love what you got going on. Would you like to grow your Instagram and blah blah blah? I think you have a lot of potential. And then just literally selling people all day long for $100 a month packages. And I went from $0 to like 5,000, $4,000 to $5,000 a month within that first 30 days. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, I could breathe a little bit now. And
yeah,
right then, Corey was like, just now, he's like ran his first shade room ad, and he made like, 20,000 bucks within that like first few days of the shade room ad. And he was like, yo, there's 0% chance I can like handle this fulfillment my own, like do all of this. Like, bro, get into this with me if you want to. And then that's when I started like putting my money down.
wow.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting as it is because listen, the money that he put down, y'all. Listen, it wasn't no $1,000. It wasn't no $4,000. It wasn't no chuck change. But okay, so you went down 2018, and you was just like, okay, I got like they say, I got a dollar in the drain,
All right.
pretty much. But like you said, you had money in different areas, right? So
Right.
you went down and you just kind of like consecrated yourself in a way, like, you know what, I'm gonna just stay focused, go in 30 days in a room, da da da. I'm gonna hit them, slide them DMs, and
Yeah.
just like hit up people. Like you said, just because that's what you went to school for, like digital marketing
Hmm.
and production, stuff like that. So you're like, okay, how can I help you? And you made 4,000. So you was already making, 1,000. So he was like, okay, I have made double what I already was making. So you
Right.
did that. Corey kind of like, come on, bro, get on with
Yeah.
this. And he had already had accumulated, like you said, 20 grand from the shade room.
Right.
So then you got on, and then what was your mindset going in? Which was like, okay, I'm just gonna help him and be still do my own thing because I know you was really talking about doing your own thing.
Yeah.
Or did you full fledged go into that?
Yeah, no, I kind of went all the way in with it, because he had $20,000 worth of inventory that he had bought before I had it came on in general. And he was like, "Yo, if you got 10,000, you can split it right in half with me. He owned the business 100%. He was like, you throw up 10,000, we 50-50 partners. It's green, it's on a handshake, and we moving like." And I was like, let's do it. And then I literally have a screenshot, have two pennies in my bank account. after I 1,000, and that's literally all I had. And it was a lot going on too, because people don't even know like this side of the story. I don't even think I talked about it, but I had my apartment back there in Houston was getting subleased by somebody because I wanted to just leave and get out. So I left. It was
Ah,
getting subleased, and then I had to come and pay rent in Atlanta as well to split rent with Corey. But the person that was subleasing my apartment in Houston didn't pay at all. So I'm coming from moving from Houston to Atlanta, nothing in my bank account, $700 rent in Houston, nigga not paying it. Excuse me, in it. And then I got another rent in Atlanta. I got to pay for it too. So I got $0 but two rents to pay, and like it was crazy. But yeah, so he started doing his thing with it, and then I went in with that 10,000, and then after that we just started taking it seriously, and I applied the knowledge that I had from different courses I took and different YouTube videos and digital marketing things that I knew that I had applied before and failed, but I knew that they would work for this, and then I applied them, and then they ended up working, and I brought all the knowledge I had from the past failures to this business, and you talking about going from zero to like $600,000 a month within 2 years.
wait a minute. Let's slow down because he just said some good stuff, y'all. Like some good stuff. So okay, so he went down to Atlanta. So he just said something. He didn't even. He already had $700 of rent in Texas, and the people that was there weren't paying the rent. None of them. They weren't paying the rent. So that's on your credit.
Right.
That's on your credit. So you go down, you split 50-50. For 20, he gives 10, you give 10, and y'all, it wasn't no legal documents. It was just homeboys and homeboys. I trust you. We gonna flip this. Okay. I'm gonna put this money into it. I already got rent paying. I got an apartment in Atlanta and I got a rent in Texas. And now I'm gonna invest all my money and I got 2 cents left in my bank account.
That's exactly.
Okay.
I remember crying because I had
Wow.
$500 that I had hustled up and rent was due, and I needed like $200 or 200, like yeah, like 200 to pay it, and it was the day before, and I was just crying like on my knees, just crying like, bro, I don't even know how it's gonna happen. And then one of my older homies hit me up and was like, yo, bro, just checking in on you. How's everything going randomly? And then I was like, man, I'm going through it, just trying to get this rent paid, blah blah blah. And then I didn't even tell him how much I needed, and then all of a sudden my cash app went off, and he sent me two randomly, didn't say anything, and I just started crying, bro.
Wow.
Like, bro, this is insane. And then I was able to pay my rent, and then crazy because it came full circle. A year and a half later, he started going through some financial problems, and I was able to just send that money back to him with no issue at all to just help out, and it was insane. But yeah, I was going through it at the time, like bad. So
Wow, you give me chills. This is wow. Come on, Justin. I want look. You know how you okay tell your story when people listen. This is insane. Like right, Jared, this is my best friend, and she know how it is. And but like you said, it came full circle. You just never know. It's kind of like spirits. Like you have to have that friend where I know something ain't right. But like you said, you didn't even tell him really what you had needed, and like he just cashed after you, and for him to do that and look at you now,
right,
and he had a heart patch or whatever, and you was able to provide for him the same way he provided you at your lowest, be honest with you, your lowest point in your life.
yeah,
And oh my god, that is so insane. So you invested this money, and you said that you didn't have the money for your rent,
right,
and your friend helped you out.
right,
So how quickly did the money start to flip? Because you said you had courses, you took courses and stuff like that, but it failed doing something else.
right.
So you had all these. Are you like people like myself, like have do all these invest in all these webinars, YouTube, and now TikTok? Look, TikTok be my. I be like,
Right.
it's one on one. I be okay. This is a new app I can put on. And just, okay, I'm applied to this business. Cause like you said, I already seen it exploding. I already seen where it was going, but I'm just gonna apply that because I had so much confidence in that. So how quickly was like the flip for y'all?
You know, it Well, one thing happened because we do the homecoming tours every October. So it was right around that time that we were going to go do those homecomings. So that was very easy for us because, that 10,000 comes back the first one of the first stops. Like that's really easy. But not been the case, it would have taken a long time because I got stuck in analysis paralysis, just like watching all of these different videos and watching all these different webinars and different gurus and stuff like that. And it's very difficult to know what's true and what's not. So, that's one of the things I struggled with for a while. And I know a lot of people do. And that's why I like to talk about this type of thing, because the thing that really set it off for me and changed it was something told me, Justin, if you don't start running your Facebook ads, your Instagram ads, your Google ads, that stuff today, right now, it's never going to happen. And it's just, that's something that spoke to me. So I told myself, I said, look, I don't know what's real. I don't know who's doing what and if it's true or not, but I'm going to pick one person on YouTube or whatever, and I'm going to vet them and see if they're really doing what they say they're doing. And if they are doing it, then cool. I'm going to follow the blueprint exactly down to a T and see if
Wow.
I just randomly picked this one guy from YouTube and watched all of his videos, and then I applied it the same day, and then money started coming in from the Facebook and Instagram ads that next day. And I was just like, okay, that's I can understand this now. So like, I just had to pick. Like I tell people now, just pick somebody. Like pick someone and apply the information exactly, and don't sway from it, and don't get clouded by all of this other stuff that's going
Yeah.
on. Pick one and vet them and make sure they're doing it, and then try it. And then that's what worked out for me. And so now I take it very serious, like paying for different courses and paying for different mentorship, like getting into different mentor groups, stuff like that, because it changed a lot. It made the money come instantly.
Wow. Wow. So for you to okay, so you very successful now and you still invest.
Hmm.
I think people need to okay. If you are a business owner or aspiring to be a business owner, this man, like he said, they bring it home over 100K a month in revenue for his business, and he still invests in mentorship, webinars. So let's backtrack a little bit. So you said that you had the analysis paralysis, right? So like you kind of like me, like okay, I didn't invest in all these gurus and these people that got all these multi-million dollar brands and they got t-shirt line. They like I'm on God is dope podcast. I'm on your lecture leisure. I'm on listen all these different ones. They got successful businesses, but I'm like, wait a minute, it ain't adding up. Like so you said that you just picked somebody on YouTube
Hmm.
and you just went through his blueprint. You just started to see
That's all it.
the
This is free information. Like I didn't even pay for it. Like I just went on YouTube. There's so much information out there for free, and I just took one piece and said, "Hey, this is the guy that I'm trusting." It looked like he running a bag up. He had his screen and video and all of that. I was like, "All right, well, look, if you're doing it, I know I could do it too." And then I just followed the blueprint.
wow. Now what was his name? Look, we all look like what's his name?
It's actually crazy because he actually passed away, but his name was King Com, so like King Commerce or whatever. But uh, story tells it like on his YouTube that he like overdosed or something like that. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what happened, but I just like he passed away now. But it was crazy.
Wow.
That's crazy in itself too. Like damn,
Yeah.
this information before his time came, and that's just another thing that's like wild to me too.
Wow. So did you get a chance to like get him like, man, thank you,
Yeah.
and meet him or anything?
I never got to meet him, but actually, at one point, I remember I paid $100 to have a 1 hour consulting call with him, and that was the first time we met and the first time we talked. And then after that, I never talked to him again. I just was
Wow.
information, followed him on Instagram, talked a little bit
Yeah.
here,
Here
but
and there. Nothing big.
yeah,
That's amazing. So your story is phenomenal because it's just okay. If you didn't go to HU, then you would never have met Corey.
right,
If you never stepped out on faith, you would have never got your biggest breakthrough.
right,
And if you never like literally just analyze who I need to literally follow blueprint, despite of all these people that like I'm sure me and some other people on here like, man, I got notebooks of webinars, and they say this gonna change your life. This podcast gonna change your life. This webinar, you ain't gonna leave here the same. This conference, you ain't gonna leave here the same. And you have so many, probably notes and stuff of people that is probably doing exactly the thing that you're doing, but you haven't seen the success. But can you also talk about the mindset and how important it is that you have a different mindset when you're trying to apply these things as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think the main thing is just execution in general because, we can go and get motivated, and we can go and get hyped up and go to these conferences and webinars and be excited for 30 minutes or an hour or a day. But if we don't come out of there with exact action plans on what we're going to do to execute and see that fruit, be made, then we spin in our wheels. So that was one thing that I just had to understand. Like, I don't know what it was, but my spirit was like, look, if you don't execute today, it's gonna die. So,
Mm,
and that's when I took that advice from him and just executed it, and then made it was good the day after. So I think it's more so like the mindset of knowing that there's a lot of information out there and knowing that there's a lot of people, gurus and etc. But you got to execute. That's the biggest thing. If you have an idea, execute on it instantly, or it's liable to die. And then if you keep getting, it's funny, me and my
that's
friend
dope.
say that, you know, if your conscious and your subconscious keeps providing you ideas and you don't execute on it, why do you think that your subconscious or God will keep providing you with those ideas when you keep putting them to the side? So I was like, that's crazy. Like, let me get to anything that I can.
Execute.
Like,
Come on. Anything I think of, listen, like, let me write it down. Like, even if you just write it down and you just, okay, date it. Like, like I know I got thousands of businesses in my notebooks that I was like, oh my God, like I was just thinking about a restaurant. I'm like the name and what I'm like, man, I ain't seen nothing like this. But like you said, like if God have already have, it's a reason why it's a repeated, like, okay, or you might see signs or somebody might be
right,
talking about it, like something like this, a podcast or something. And you're like, wait a minute, I was actually thinking about doing that. And it's kind of like reminding you to go forth and do that because I mean, look at you, like you literally took every dollar in your bank account and invested in yourself, in your future, in your children's
mm,
future. And you honestly, like you said, you seen it, but at that moment you didn't see that return. Like you said, you had needed money for rent.
yeah,
But look at it now. If you can just go back, like, man, I'm so glad I invested in myself. I'm so glad that I had them. I'm sure you had to cry yourself to sleep sometimes because of the I don't know if this or what is going to happen or when I'm gonna get the next dollar in, right? So,
I could easily speak on that because a lot of the time people worry about the how too much. And that's something I've been trying to give up is like I remember sitting down because I used to when I first started my 30 days that I was talking about, I would wake up, I would read for an hour immediately after I opened my eyes. Then after that, I would write down every single goal I had for this year. And then on the back of that piece of paper, I would write down 10 things that I was grateful for. And I did that every single day for multiple months. And yeah, oh man, it's just,
mhm,
dog, like um,
wow.
I don't know. I mean, I don't even know. Like,
That's insane. Like I know it's so much that was probably going through your mind and just in the in between times, right? So like let's talk about it. So it really took off 2018
right?
for you guys, and you went out in Les, we went out in London, okay? So for the culture is an actual episode. So can you talk about how you guys are doing big numbers, right, in revenue each month? But talk about the money that you guys invest in people college futures and tuitions and even a black owned, black colleges. Talk about that.
Yeah, so the cool thing about what we do is like we haven't taken any like venture capitalist money. Like, we funded everything by ourselves from the ground up. So we can make decisions based on how we feel and what we want to do. So we've given scholarships to students that go to HBCUs out here in Atlanta, like Clark Atlanta. One
Wow.
young lady was going on a culture emergence trip and she needed I think it was, I want to say a couple $1,000 to like be able to do it. And the lady who her mother was our post office person. So she was handling all of our packages and making sure that we didn't wait no lines, like literally anything like that. So, it was like, all right, let's get back to her specifically because she's impacted the business and put her daughter through the trip to go to China. So, we have hundreds of ambassadors at every single campus that, they are able to just do stuff like comment on our Instagram and like our posts, and then
Mhm.
they get points, and then we give them free gear. And Mother's Day, we both came from single parent households, so we gave $100 to 10 different mothers to just go get groceries for the day, um, different stuff like that, and more stuff that I can think of right now. But
Yeah, absolutely.
we do whatever we want, honestly, and if it feels right, we do it, and that's that.
Wow. Wow. So you guys, that is amazing. So for you to like pay it back, right? Because I mean, come on now, that's who handles really your mail, right? So like you said, to skip the line and everything,
Right.
you paid it back to your faithful post office
Right.
by funding their daughter
Yep.
to do what? So they was going like on a
Yeah,
out
it
of the country. Was it
was
that type?
abroad.
Oh, student. Okay, student abroad. Okay.
Yeah, so she just her thing was she was going to China, so then we just just pay for it.
Just pay for it. And then you say y'all fed 100, 10 families, 10 mothers with
Yeah,
$100 to
yeah,
get
10
groceries.
others, $100, just different stuff like that. And then honestly, we're still trying to figure out more ways to give back more because we've dropped different clothing items that, we was like, this is going to this cause and this is going to that cause. So we have that money, but it's just like, all right, what causes exactly do we want to do? And like how, but we have thousands and thousands of dollars that are dedicated to different causes that we're just trying to thoughtfully pick out who we want to service and stuff like that now. So that's where we're
Wow.
coming from.
Wow, that is absolutely amazing. So y'all don't have no investors, no other people like sliding y'all some money. This is all from you guys' pockets that you
Yeah,
guys decide to put back into the communities, put back into our black colleges. Because it's one thing to wear the brand, but it's also another thing to actually do what you want people to
yeah.
buy into.
I mean, yeah, and then you talking about going from 0 to 20, 25 employees, every single person black, all of our people that sew on our patches, all black women, every single one. Like, this is really what we stand on. So, that's that.
Wow, that's crazy. So all you guys clothing is that's Omri, like what is it? How to pronounce it? The
So,
like the patches.
oh,
It's huh?
Chanel. That's what it's called, like Chanel patches.
Oh, that's what they call Chanel patches.
Hmm.
Oh wow, because I that's what really brought me to you guys' brand. Also the name, but also how it's put on even the shirts.
Hmm.
I was like, that's different because you don't see too many brands because usually that costs a little bit more. But
Yeah.
I was like, that was really so. Talk about how, man, that's right. He's like, you are definitely. She's like, all you can say is, wow, you are definitely got yes. That's all I can say. All through this interview, I've been saying, wow. So can you talk more about because obviously I started seeing you guys brand on social media, of course, but um celebrities. I seen Eva off, American Top Model. I seen her. Then I seen it was a couple of more. Like majority of my favorite celebrities, I have seen you guys clothing in. So how did that come about? Because you guys, like I said, you started doing the annual tour,
Yeah.
and then it just kind of like went from there, or you started
Um,
seeing free products or what?
yeah, I mean, it's a combination of a bunch of things. Like we were really, really relentless at the beginning. So like for Tiana Taylor, she was doing a event at DC when we went to school at Howard, and
Hmm.
Corey was like, "Yo, I'm going up to where that event is. I don't know how I'm getting in, but I can guarantee you she gonna get some stuff by the time I get out of there." He went up there, ended up seeing her talking to somebody, and it was an older woman, and it happened to be her mom. Got kind of slid in and had a little conversation with her mom. Her mom invited him into the event, invited him into their section, connected them together, and then she started wearing stuff. And then that was like one of the bigger celebrities that we had initially got. But you talking about not knowing at all if we could even get in the venue, but going and being in the section and being able to give gear, that type of thing. Then also DMing 10 to 15 people, which kind of goes circles back to when I used to do that in my room all day.
Oh
DMing 10 to 15
man.
people every hour. Hey, can we get you some gear? Can we get you some gear? Yes, no, cool. Just all types of people like that. And then even when the pandemic first started, we were DMing people like, hey, we're a black brand that's owned by two young black guys. We want to just spread positivity. Can you go live with us and spread some positivity? And we got on live with Ti, Tisha Campbell, like Killer Mike, like a bunch of people, literally just DMing folks and shit. So and then that turned into getting people some gear. So, it's just all types of different avenues and ways.
Oh man, that's a mental note for sure. That's insane, guys. Like, and you talk about, and I'm so big on networking, and they think we have to be very creative during this time because the pandemic, we couldn't go to, networking shops or
Right,
like now it's pop shops, pop-up shops
right,
now, but during March, November, March, April, May, we wasn't, it's literally people was quarantined. So it was, everything was online. So for you to feel like you said, you started to kind of like reintroduce people to your brand, even though your brand was already popular, you still had like, kind of like you said, went back into when you first went to Atlanta, like, hey, man, let me get in your inbox. Can I
yeah,
see you for years? So you guys wasn't minding giving something to receive something,
right,
obviously. To
right.
like, they could as a loss, but really it wasn't because if somebody, famous how your brand doing and they advertise on their social media, you never know. That could be 10, 20 grand easily.
It's very interesting when people talk about this subject because I argue that if you spent all day only doing that and one person like LeBron James or a Beyonce or a whomever wears it, your time was better spent doing that all day long than trying to go to pop-up shops and sell and maybe getting $1,000, $2, whatever here and there.
So
Your time
true.
could have been better spent doing nothing but courting celebrities because you might get one out of 2,000, but that one brings you $500,000 in revenue, which averages out the cost of the time that you spent rather than spinning your wheels trying to go to these events that may or may not hit. So it's the thought.
Who and people never, they think pop-up shops is like a quick little thing. Like,
Mhm.
you have to continue to go to these things to even your brand to get known. Like, I started my brand last month, and towards the end of the month, I went to a popular person, it was her 10 year, and some people, I was a new kid in town, so they had already knew each other. So it was like, yeah, they bought because of the message behind the brand. But like you said, if you was to take a day, it's like preparing content, and you inbox people that you want to see your brand in. And like you said, yeah, everybody not going to respond or give you a yes. But if you take that initial step instead of, like you said, do a pop-up shop, then you have a better chance at getting a hit because, like you said, you may make $100, maybe 200 at the least. But man, if you get, let's just say, I don't know if you said Tiana Taylor,
Ever, anyone.
anyone big or somebody who have a great influence, that's easy. A thousand, 10,000, 20,000 in
Right.
sales.
Yeah. It's true. I
That's
mean,
a great
just,
thought.
just like thinking about where your time is best spent, and then also, that correlates with advertising as well. Because let's just say I could go get a billboard and spend a couple $100 and make a couple $100, or I can spend it in Facebook ads and make a couple $1,000 because that's where people's attention is right now. So it was really just kind of assessing where's my time best spent, where's my money best spent, because as an entrepreneur that's self-funded, every dollar has to work very hard and you can't waste it. So that's what's super important. And you got time, cool, and hit up all of these people. You got money, put it into the ads because that's what's working right now. Just understanding the trends and putting your time where it's best valued and your money as well.
Wow, I love that. I love that. So you said something very profound. You said put your time in things that's more valuable, more so, right? Like you said, what is people paying attention to? And me, because I'm trying to say ladies on the trends, I watch people, people not into like kind of like the business card type of thing. They on the digital business cards, right? Like, hey, follow me on Instagram type of thing. They not, okay, hit me to my website. Nah, I'm following you on Instagram. You'll see what I do. And then we'll
Yeah,
go from there.
right. It's
It's
true.
all, and like you said, instead of spending $100 on a billboard, man, ads. That's the billboards nowadays.
Right.
Instead of spending all that money and hope somebody see the billboard on expressway or e-way, whatever they call it in Atlanta, you know, like hoping they do it, but you have to stay ahead of the trend. So that was really, really good. And also, can you talk more about, and then we're going to be wrapping up, about how it's just not when you go into entrepreneurship, it's just not a quick thing. It takes, like you said, being very relentless
Yeah.
and being very patient. But
Hmm.
like you said, you apply some things that you kind of failed in and you put
Right.
into this. Can you talk more about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think I read somewhere that like the successful entrepreneur fails in 13 businesses before they get that one. So I think that helped me a lot. But yeah, it's not easy. And then even when you get to a place to where you're making a decent amount of money, it's still not easy because there's different stresses that you don't know until you get into it. I didn't know how to operate and talk to 25 different employees until I got into the situation. So you go from how am I going to go from $0 to a couple $1,000 a month to how do I go from zero employees to five to 10 to 25? How do I deal with all of these different emotions? How do I practice financial independence and develop my mind to know what to do with this money? Because everybody wants 100,000 whatever dollars until you get it and don't know what to do with it. So there's different things that you don't know what to do until it's that moment in that time. Also is it's a little difficult too because a lot of people think that entrepreneurship is about making a lot of money and being successful when it's actually about freedom. And it's not about how much money can I make, it's about can I build something to where I can get other people to run it and then I can live my life on my own terms. So people confuse entrepreneurship with creating a job for themselves that's just a little bit better paid. So
Mm,
confused by, oh, I'm making a lot of money, but you still in the day to day of your business and still working very hard because now you're just a well paid employee when the goal was, I want to get free. So don't get confused with that either.
wow.
There's things that are difficult. Like, you're asking me what's difficult about entrepreneurship, and these are the things that,
Yeah,
you don't think about until you into it. So one
yeah.
of the most difficult things is just day to day, like figuring it out because everything's on you and you don't know the answer because you've never been there. And it's up to you to figure it out or it doesn't happen. That's the hard part.
Wow, that is really, really good. Wow, and like you said, like you don't know what it is that you can't handle until you get to that point. Like you said, it goes from like, okay, I'm trying to make zero to $1,000, and then it's like, okay, like you said, I'm talking to 25 employees or more, and like I didn't know how to. At first, I didn't know how to handle that, but I had to be introduced to that when I got to that level in my business. So it's levels to it. Even if you make all this money, it's
Right.
still different levels, that we are that you got to go through.
Yeah.
So that was really, really good. So talk about what's now, like people doing that, how it started and how it's going. So how so how is support like colleges doing right now?
I mean, it's really good. We got 25 employees. I hired two of my best friends. Corey hired his blood sister to do our
Wow.
operations. Now we're just trying to get more thoughtful and more, I guess, organized. Just we want to do a drop every 2 weeks. We want to,
Wow.
make sure we have our email marketing in line, like just everything in line perfectly. Now people are starting to reach out, bigger brands. They want to partner and they want to do collaborations, like household name brands. How do we keep cultivating that? Just different stuff, trying to get the brand to as big as possible because we want to be like a black Nike type of thing. So it's
Wow. Y'all up there, man. It's not too far. Like seriously.
that's what we want to do, and we want to take it and do it all black owned, and not moving from getting stuff in China and overseas to having enough money to build our own manufacturing and do everything literally from the bottom to the top black owned. Like that's where we're moving towards now. Just finding different ways to bring in more revenue, automate more systems, grow every day, get more people involved, more celebrities, more employees, things like that. And that's really all we're doing every day now.
Wow. So talk about That's really good. And you never, like you said, y'all gonna be the black Nike. Like, I mean, I don't see why not. I
Right.
mean, especially for the black colleges and stuff like that. That's gonna be freaking phenomenal. It's gonna be a movie, man. So talk about the virtual HBCU homecoming that's about to take place in a couple of days, really on the
Yeah.
21st.
So we've been working really hard on that, and that's more so Corey's thing as well.
Okay.
But I can speak on it though.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
While he's been working on that, I've been running the business. So we kind of
Okay.
just leaning on each other in that way. But he essentially was when quarantine was going on, I had the idea of, yo, let's reach out to all these people and go live with them because that's where people's attention is going to be. They on their phone. Let's like get on live with these celebrities.
Right.
And then we got invited to do this graduation, virtual graduation that Chase put on, and they wanted us to provide gear to all of the celebrities that were in it. And just from us providing gear to all of the celebrities that were in it, our website wasn't anywhere, like nothing, no big exposure. That we made $75,000 in one day just from people seeing the merchandise in the graduation, and we was like, okay, there's something there. Like this virtual thing is serious. And then we both had an idea actually. I don't remember if it was mine or Corey's, but it was more so like, yo, what if we did, like a homecoming and had like different commencement speakers that were like celebrities that went to different schools and like have like, HBCUs and stuff. And then it kind of turned into, well, nah, let's just not do like commencement speeches. Let's do an actual homecoming with multiple days with, mental health check-ins and workouts in the morning and a gospel concert, a hip
Yeah.
concert. And then we ended up just using our money to book all of these artists. And then we got sponsorship from booking these artists and stuff. And now it's about to be, you know, debuted, and that's where we at with that now. But
Wow. So how many? Okay, so tell us the dates and also how can we register?
I want to say it's the 20. Look, I've been
You
so
don't know? Okay, so
I,
I do.
I want to say it's the 21st through the 25th.
Yeah,
And
it is. It
okay,
is.
look, I'm not
And,
too out of
and
touch.
now it's cool. I'm gonna put the actual so how we can register. It is a fee, right?
Nah, it's free.
It's
Yeah, everything's free and
what?
free, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be streaming. Like, I think we have a partnership with Facebook that we're going to be streaming on Facebook, and also like our YouTube, like just all of those, like everywhere, all different platforms that we're on. So yeah.
Wow. I had put a video on like how the homecomings be for HBCU. It be
Hmm.
bananas, y'all. Like that's why I said it was the homecomings for me. Like beside the culture, it was the whole time. It was the homecomings because it was stay lit. Like I'd be like, oh my god, I wish I was
The
HBCU.
homecomings are incredible. Like it's the biggest things. Like when I was in school, Drake came to homecoming and it was a surprise. So like, oh my god, bro, I could talk about that all day. Like it's the homecomings. Like they're
The
just
homecomings be lit. Like, and then
super
the people
lit.
that come down and put up, man, it be lit. Like free, and it's free too, y'all. Cause
Right,
usually you can't like it be usually you gotta pay for each event.
right.
Unless it's a game, right? If it's a game, then it's free. But then
Yep.
all the night
Mm-hmm.
parties, you gotta pay.
You gotta
Y'all
pay
know,
for
cause I used to be host.
parties. You gotta pay for the fashion show, the gospel show, the hip hop concert, all of that. But we ended up just using our resources and booking all of these celebrities and stuff. And now instead of people not having a homecoming or only a homecoming that their school tries to put together that might work out, might not, we invite everybody out from all colleges, all HBCUs, even any college, don't matter. So
Yeah,
just to come enjoy, some of the experiences that we fell in love with when we were in school and just doing it digitally this time around.
right. Yes, he definitely got to go to HBCU. Like I'm so serious. Like if I was to go, because I'm a senior now, but if I was to go to graduate school, which I doubt, I said I wanted to go to HBCU. Like no
Yeah.
lie, I wanted to go to Florida A&M,
Oh yeah, that's
but
crazy.
huh, yeah, that's been crazy. So how can people stay connected with you and the brand?
Yeah, so obviously the Support Black College Instagram, then me and Corey have our own Instagrams. I'm actually transitioning mine right now, so I have like a new handle, but it's not like locked in just yet, so I'm trying to swap
Okay,
it.
okay,
But yeah, so Support Black College Instagram right now is the
okay.
best place to find us.
Yeah, for sure. I'm so glad y'all I got him before he transitioned.
Right.
For sure. So it just so college is at the end, right?
It's just
ES.
support Black college. No S at the end.
Okay, no, that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, he's definitely somebody that you want to connect with. Like even just the brand in general. Like they just doing big things. You want to stay connected, get on their email list, and
Mhm.
I'm definitely purchasing some merch tonight for sure because man, y'all definitely doing a darn thing. Like, and I definitely as a new business owner, like you all definitely inspire me. Black owned, young millennials, and
Mhm.
just kind of took this and made it to a whole movement. It's
Mhm.
literally a movement.
Yeah.
So
Feel
I'm going
free
to
to
also,
ask me if you need anything. Just let me know and ask me anything. I'm down to help out.
I appreciate it. Yeah, for sure. Like, I probably won't be bothering you, but yeah, like, um, so I put also their website, which is www.supportbackcollege. It's not an S.
It's a S on the website, so
It is. Okay,
sportblackcollege.
.org, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, guys. So who's still on with us? I know some people hopped on and off. Um, But I want to thank you again, Justin, for joining us tonight.
Yeah, for sure.
For the coaching, you definitely dropped some nuggets. I thank you for being transparent with your story and
Right.
just sharing, like, definitely like the ins and outs, not only being an entrepreneur, but also stepping and taking that leap of faith and actually, investing in, your time and your money into something that was literally is for generations,
Mhm.
generational wealth. Yes, definitely. Support my faith.
I got some new friends now. That's cool.
Right, right, right. Look, just are you single? Look, it is cuffing season, guys.
It is cuffing season, isn't it?
The ladies want to know you single.
Uh, I'm gonna just say yes
Say yeah, okay, okay, okay.
because it's difficult out here in these entrepreneurial streets.
Right. You gotta watch who you. Yeah, definitely, definitely support the movement. Support Black College for real,
Right.
y'all. So I want to thank you, Dre. Are you going to be the one that's going to get a free shirt or hoodie, friend, whatever you decide, friend?
Right.
Because she's one of my biggest supporter
That's what.
that stayed on through the whole time. So whatever you want, girl, I got you.
Yeah.
From
Same.
that collection. So I thank you, Justin, again for your time. I know you're a busy businessman. You got some things going on with Support Back College. So I appreciate you again and again. And definitely we'll be staying connected. And guys, definitely support this brand, support this movement. They doing phenomenal things. Like for real. They doing phenomenal things.
I really
So
I thank you so much for allowing me to come on and just speak. It helps me a lot because like I get fulfillment from this type of stuff now rather than like
yeah.
money and stuff like that. So this helps me a lot too.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I definitely you have been a blessing to me. I learned a lot. I'm gonna definitely like you said, that do the analysis paralysis and trying to
Right.
just like kind of just stick to one person
Yeah.
because I have so many notes and stick to one person and just kind of run with it. So I appreciate you so much, and you take care and you stay blessed.
All right. You too. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Bye bye.